So we're back, and so here is the front, because I put the stitch here. This is where there was the 23 and the 23 at the back and the 14 over the shoulder. Okay, so we measured here to here, and it's about 12 inches, maybe 13 if you want it a little bit wider. But what we're going to do is we're going to add about 10 stitches, 10 chains here, just to give it a little bit more ease in the underarm. Okay. But because we want to also always crochet the front posts on the front, we want to join it here on this corner here. Okay. And so we are going to tie the yarn over on this side. Okay, so we're going to actually make a knot over on this corner. So just simply just double knot it in the corner stitch. Okay. And we are going to just do 10 chains, and it's about 4 inches that we want. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We are going to then join it to this slip stitch and join it to that corner. Okay, so make sure you don't twist the chain here. I don't know if you can see it. Don't twist the chain. Make sure it's the 10 stitches are equal there. Okay, so then we are going to chain up 2 like we normally do, and we are going to double chain and then front post. Okay, double chain, so you can see that. I don't know if the sun is too bright. So, and then front post. So when I talk about making the front post with ease, so you're doing a double chain. When you're doing the front post, it's just bringing the yarn up a little bit, so you're giving it a little bit more more height, so then it won't curl, but it'll straighten up anyway. Okay. So I want you just to go all the way across here. This is the back to the next corner, with following again the same pattern of front post, double chain, front post, double chain. Okay. So here we are back again, and I apologize for the ever changing light here. I don't have a professional setup, but I did want to try to get this out. So I followed, so I increased over here the 10, followed the pattern, double crochet post, front post, double crochet. So I'm getting to the end over here. Okay. So, so we have a front post, double crochet, and then what I'm going to do is just slip stitch and then crochet, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get the other corner, make sure that it's not twisted, because it's been known to happen. Okay, and I'm going to slip stitch in this corner. All right, and then turn my, sorry, hit the camera, turn my work, and chain up 2, that's going to count as a double, and then front post, double crochet, front post, double crochet, and again we're going to follow that pattern all the way to the end. Okay, so what we've done is created the armhole, and I will show you later how to what we're going to do for the arms. But in the meantime, we are just going to continue with the body, and I'll meet you at this corner. Okay? Okay, so here we are almost at the end, where I have made 10 chains. So I've been following the pattern, front post, double, front post. I'm going to do a double here, and then I'm going to do 10 doubles around this chain. So I'm not going to go into the chain because it really doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is just do 1 double, 2 double, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And when you space them out, it should be fine. Okay, it should be 10. All right. Okay, so we have 10, and what we're going to do is slip stitch into this first stitch. Okay, because that was the first one we made. All right, and I'm going to chain up 2, sorry, and then double. And so we're just going to follow the pattern. Now it's under the arm, but you'll see that when we come back, the pattern will follow when you add the 10. So for instance, here you have the front, you have a double. So this is going to be a front when we come back. Double, front, double, front, double, front, double, front, double, front, and double. Okay, so it will work out when we make the round all the way around. Okay. So now continue with the pattern of front post, double. Okay, so continue until we get to the other underarm. Okay, so here we are getting to the next underarm. Okay, so I have done a front post. I'm going to do a double crochet here. And I'm going to go straight into doing 10 double crochets around this chain. Now, if you've done less than 4 inches, or your chain is smaller and you've done fewer double crochets, and when you find that when you come back, it's going to be it's not going to follow the pattern, just fudge it. Don't worry about it. It is under the arm. Just make sure, or decrease, just skip over a double crochet decrease so that it does then just starts following the pattern, okay? Because it's not a perfect science, but this should work out, I do believe, when you come around the other way, okay? So then we are going to double in here. Sorry. Awkward, and front post, and then double. I'm in a weird position so that I have the camera, so that's why I keep losing my stitches. And then front post. Okay, so we're going to follow that pattern all the way to this side where we started here. Okay, so follow all of the pattern all the way, and I'll meet you over on this side of the underarm. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of the underarm. So I've done a front post, and I'm going to do a double crochet, a front post, see if it works out. Okay, I'm going to slip stitch here. Okay, and we've closed that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually front post in the same stitch, just to so that it brings it up. Sorry. So that we continue with the pattern. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. We can slip stitch into the next one and then go up 1, 2, and then front post in here. So that's another way of fudging it a little bit, is you can just slip stitch. So when we come back, hopefully it will all fall into place. But so I've slip stitched, and now we're going to just follow this all the way around, the same pattern. Okay, so I will meet you at this side over here. Okay, so continue with the front post, double crochet front post. Okay, so here we are at the other end, and I did the math, and we're going to have an extra stitch again with the pattern, but let's try. Okay, really it's not going to be very noticeable because it's under the arm, but you can go around. Okay, so you can do what you want to, just to make sure. Again, the most important part is that you keep to the pattern, not like here it's going to be under the arm. It's not going to be that noticeable, and you can do it a little tighter if you want. Or if you didn't want to just skip it, what you could do is go back to the last front post, and I don't know if you guys know how to do double crochet 2 together. So we could do that, which is you double crochet here, and when you have 2, you go over and you go back, you go into this one and go 2, so you have 3 on your stitch, and then you just pull through all 3, and that'll do 2 together, and that might be better because you won't leave a little hole. And then you can just go right into your your front post. Okay, and then you would have that. Go around all the way, front post, double crochet, and then when we get to here, we are going to just slip stitch, chain 2, and then follow the pattern all the way around. Okay, I will do it one more time, so I'll meet you over here. So just follow the pattern, front post, double, front post, double, and then I'll meet you over here. So I'm getting, so here we are. So we have the front post, and then we have the single crochet that we did here. We are going to slip stitch at the top of it. You can see, slip stitch, all right, and then we're going to do raise 2, and then we're going to just go right into the front post. Okay, and then the double. And we are going to do that round and round until we get a desired length. So here it is. I don't know if you can see it all. So this is what we're doing. You're now building the body of the sweater. Okay. All right. Hopefully you can see all that in the camera. We're going to build the body. So what I suggest, then, you just keep building the body to the desired length of your sweater. Okay. Now I'm going to have about 3-inch ribbing at the bottom, 3 or 4 inches. So keep working on the body, just round and round like we've done, keeping to the pattern until you get to the desired length, less 3 to 4 inches, because we're going to do some ribbing so that it just brings it in at the end. So here I have done the length of the sweater that I want. I can't get it all in. All right, and I've already started the ribbing. So the length of the sweater was here, and I'm going to now do about 3.5 inches of the ribbing. And to do the ribbing, you have to use a smaller hook. So I want you to get a 5.5 hook, And the only change we're going to do, like, so we're not decreasing for the ribbing at all. The only thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a front post double, and sorry, I got a knot here, and instead of a double crochet, we're going to do a back post double. And what that's going to do with the smaller hook and with the back and front post, it's going to make it a tighter stitch. Let me just get this out of the way. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll tie in the ends later. All right. So let's do that again so you can see it better. Okay, so a front post double and a, oh my goodness, okay, a back post double. Okay, and again with the tighter hook, and by doing a back post instead of just a double, you're going to create a springier ribbing than the rest of the rib sweater. Okay, and you can see already it's gotten a nice rib to it. Okay, and it'll fall nicely. It really will. Nonno's tried it on, and it actually falls nicely on a little lower than his waist, so it gives it a nice spring at the bottom. Okay, so go to the end of the row, and when you get to the end of the row, just slip stitch in here and chain 3, and then do as many rounds as you want to make the ribbing as thick as you want here, probably 3.5 inches. And we're actually going to repeat that with the ribbing on the sleeves. Okay, so go ahead and do that. So right now I'm going to teach you how to do the sleeve. So here is the sleeve opening. All right, this is the front of the sweater, so we're doing the right sleeve. So what I would ask you to do to begin with is, where we increase the 10 stitches, I would put a stitch marker on one end and a stitch marker on the other, because we're going to start decreases, and we're going to do them under the arm. And I just want you to, I guess, mark off exactly where the underarm is, okay? Because this is, we're going to do all the decreases around here, okay? So I would get a ball of yarn and then just tie it here, like we've done the other thing. Just tie it on, double knot it. Okay. And then for the first round, just follow the pattern all the way around. Okay, so we're not going to do any decreases. We're just going to follow the pattern all the way around. So this one is going to be in here. We're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we are going to front post here, and then here we're just going to go in here, like you have the chain in here, so we're just going to go inside and do a double crochet, and then here we're going to do a front post, and then a double crochet, just find it, front post, double crochet. Like I said, this is going to be under the arm, so no one's going to be looking under there. Front post, double crochet, post, double crochet, and then front post, and we'll do I would go here, do the double crochet here, crochet, and then front post. and just take it all the way around, all right, and no decreases, just follow the pattern all the way around till you get to here where we started the chain. All right, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so here I am getting to the stitch marker here. So this one row, we said we were just going to follow the pattern, so I've got one double. I'm going to do a front post, okay, and I'm going to slip stitch into this chain 2 that we did at the beginning. Okay, so this next row, so this is round 2, so this one we had no decreases, round 1, right? We put the stitch markers and we had no decreases. So for round 2, what we're going to do is decrease here and then here, okay, and then we're just going to follow the pattern all the way around. All right, so we're going to decrease 2 stitches at the stitch markers, and then we're going to, so I'm going to show you that. So here we have, here's the stitch marker, so we're going to do a decrease, and I'll show you how to decrease. So here we're going to stitch 2, so that's going to be the double crochet. Then we're going to front post, not finish the stitch, then we're going to double crochet, go through 2, and then we're going to go through all 3. So we've decreased 1 stitch, okay? So then we front post, double crochet, front post, double crochet, and then front post, double crochet. When we get to 2 stitches before the stitch marker, we're going to decrease. So we're going to front post, not complete the stitch, and then double crochet, go through 2, and then go through all 3. And we've decreased another one there. Okay? And then we will front post and double crochet, and then just go all the way around. Okay? So we've decreased here too. So what I would suggest is once you decrease, move your stitch marker to where you've decreased. So you have, you know, okay? All right, so now we're going to, do pretty aggressive decreasing under here right off the bat. And then, so we're going to finish this round, and then we're going to do another round of no decreases. Okay, so basically it's going to be 1 round of 2 decreases, 1 round with none, and then 2 decreases, 1 round with none. So until we get to basically the stitch markers have joined at the middle. Okay, so I'll meet you, so finish this round, and when we get to here, I'll meet you there. Okay. Okay, so here I am approaching our first decrease. So I've done a double. Now I'm going to do a front post double. Okay, and then this is where we did our 2 chain. So we are going to slip stitch into the top of the 2 chain. Okay, if I can find it. All right. So basically now we're going to do a row of just following the pattern. So chain up 2. Now it's kind of going to go off a little bit because we've done these 2 decreases. So I would just do another double here instead of a front post because it's kind of awkward, and then just pick up the front post piece again here. Okay, and then we're just going to this row, just going to do 1 row following the pattern with no decreases. Okay. Okay, so go all the way around and follow the pattern with no decreases. And then when we get to here, we're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to do another decrease here and another decrease here. So anyway, the third round is just one row with no decreases. So we'll come back and I'll see you when we come. So here we are at the end of the third round, and we are going to close it off with a front post, and then a slip stitch into the chain 2 we did at the beginning of the round. Okay, so this is the fourth round. We are going to again decrease one here and one here. Okay, so we're going to follow this pattern where we're going to decrease every other round twice, and we're going to do that 5 times. So we had round 1, we picked up all the stitches and that was no decrease. Round 2, we decreased twice. Round 3, we did not, we just did a regular round. Round 4, we're going to decrease twice. Round 5, we're going to do none. Round 6, we're going to decrease twice. So we're going to do that basically until we get to the middle. All right. So one round we decrease, one round we don't, twice. So I'm gonna let you do that. I'll show you the decrease here first, and then you got to do that another 3 times after this. Okay, so here's the double. I'm going to double crochet here, not finish the stitch, and then front post here twice, and then bring it through. So I've decreased there, and then I'm going to follow the pattern. So if you don't, because when you're decreasing, you're gonna mess up the pattern a bit, but it's under the arm, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, as long as we try to pick it up as much as we can later. Okay, so we stick as close to it as we can. So the front post and then the double. Okay, sorry. So we're getting to here, so we want to go back, and 2 before this stitch, so not at this, so it's 2 before, we want to double crochet. Okay, don't finish this stitch, and then front post and decrease. All right, and then we're going to double and front post all the way around. Okay, so again, I would move my stitch markers to where we did the decrease. So you know that basically, I think in 3 more rounds, it's going to be right here, and you're going to do 1, okay? But this is where we want to do the decreases, right under the 10 that we increased, okay? So now the next round, you just go all the way around, okay? And that would be round 4, and then round 5 is a no decrease round, and then we would decrease again in round 6. Here we are at the end of round 4, where we did our decrease at the beginning. So we're just going to end this round, and then we slip stitch here. So I wanted to show you here on the beginning of round 5, we're not going to do any decrease, right? Now this is 1 stitch where we did this decrease. So what I would suggest is just pick one of these posts and go in it. All right? You don't want to do both, because that's where you did the decrease. All right? And then follow the pattern. So this is round 5, where we're not going to do any decreases. We're just going to follow the pattern around. But I did want to show you that here there was going to be 2 posts, but we decreased it. So just front post in one of them. Don't front post in both, because then you're essentially increasing it. Okay, so so with round 5, we are just following the pattern around. So again, here you're going to have, it's 1 stitch, because you can see the V up here, it's 1 stitch. but there's going to be 2 posts. So we only want to front post. I would do the second one, just front post in one of them. Okay? And then continue. So round 5 is no decreases. It's just continuing the pattern all the way around. And I will meet you at the beginning of round 6. Okay, so here we're coming to the end of round 5 where we did no increases. So we get to the end and we slip stitch into our chain 2. Did I chain 2? I think I should do. I don't know, I chain 2. Okay, slip stitch into there. Alright, and then we are going to chain 2, and we are going to decrease the next 2 stitches. So go in, don't finish it, front post, and all 3. And follow to, so this is the beginning of round 6 where we're decreasing. Post, and then we're going to double crochet, do not finish, go into the next post and decrease. Okay, and then we're going to finish round 6 by just following the pattern all the way around. But before we do that, we're going to move our stitch markers to where we decreased. Okay, so we know, and you'll see we'll have 3 stitches left in the middle. Okay, so finish round 6 by just following the pattern all the way around. Slip stitch, chain 2, and then do round 7 with no decreases. And then I'll meet you at the end of round 7 for another decrease for the beginning of round 8. Okay, so this is the end of row 7 where we did no increases. So I'm going to end it and slip stitch to the beginning. Okay, so this is row 8. We're going to do another decrease. So round 8, sorry. So chain 2. And we're going to front post, don't finish the stitch, go into the double crochet, and then we are going to do another one right away. So we're going to do front post, don't finish the stitch, and then double crochet, and okay, so we've decreased 2 altogether, and then we will double crochet and front post. So round 8, we've now pretty much decreased all of the 10. So I'm going to just put 1 stitch marker right here, which is the middle of the 2 decreases that we did. So we're going to finish round 8 with the regular pattern. Round 9 is no decreases, and basically what we're going to do is every other row or every other round. So 9 is, so let's say round 8 was a decrease, round 9 is not a decrease. So every even round we're going to decrease 1 at the stitch marker. Okay, so make sure the stitch marker is directly under the arm. Okay, because under the underarm. Because we don't want it to be moving, like we want to try to keep all the decreases under the underarm. Okay, so the next time we decrease, it's going to be here, and we're going to just decrease 1 stitch every even row. Okay. Now we want to get down to the point where we have about 40 stitches before we start the cuff. So you need to measure how long you want the arm, which is different for everybody, right? Some people like longer sleeves, some people like shorter sleeves. So you want to measure where you want the cuff to start and where you want the cuff to end. And if you find that it's not decreasing fast enough, you might have more stitches than I do, depending on the yarn you used, or you may have less. Once you get to the desired width of the arm, you just stop increasing. Okay, so I'm going to continue in my pattern, decreasing on every even row until I get to a width of 40 stitches with this yarn. And then I'm going to start the ribbing. So I will meet you when I begin the ribbing for the sleeve. So I've finished the sleeve. I've done the second one. I've done one of the sleeves. So here's the sleeve. And I've done the decreases, as I told you in the last video. And in this one, I've actually done the cuff. And you'll see the way I've done the cuff, it's actually just following the same pattern. So here I stopped at the length of the cuff, which I counted to make sure there were 40 stitches. And then I did the ribbing. Now I'm going to show you how I've done the ribbing. So here I've stopped when I had 40 stitches. And for the ribbing, it's very, very simple. We've already done all our decreases. And how we've done the front post, back post, we are actually, we did front post and double crochet. Instead, we're going to do front post and a back post. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically, we chain two like we've been doing all along, and so like I said, we're going to do a front post, and instead of double crochet, we're going to do a back post. Okay, and the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to a size 5.5 milliliter. Okay, it's an eye hook. All right, so that the smaller hook plus going in the front and the back post is going to give us this tighter ribbing here. It's gonna bring the sleeve in nicely. Okay, so I'll show you again. So we're gonna do a front post double crochet and then go around the back and double crochet. So again, a front post double crochet and at the back a back post double crochet. So we're going to follow that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this particular round. Okay, so we're going to come to the end of this round, and again we just continue with the front post and a back post double crochet, a front post, and then we are just going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 we did at the beginning. Okay, so we're going to repeat this pattern, this round, until you have the desired length of your ribbing of your sleeve. Now I've done about, it looks like about this much, so about 3.5 inches. Okay, so I'll just, and it will tighten up, so you can see how this is already tightened up here. So continue to make sure you're doing this count how many rounds you do, because you want to repeat it with the second sleeve. Okay, So yeah, so just continue until you get to your desired length of your sleeve. Hi, so what I've started the collar. I'm almost done the collar actually. And what I've done is I've picked up 74 stitches of the half double crochet, and I am doing a half double front post and a half double back post with a smaller hook, so it's a 5.5 hook, and that, as you can see how nicely it is bringing the collar in, and it's making a really nice rib design that matches the rest of the sweater. So I will show you how to do a half double front post, same as the back, the double crochet, except you just do a half. So here's the back. So you put it in the front post, pull it out, and then all 3 loops, put it in the back, and all 3 loops. So you do this, and when you get to the end, you slip stitch, and then you do as many rows as you want. That's the last stitch there. And then when you end the round, now you can continue if you like a, if you like a turtleneck, you can continue more rounds. And what will happen, so I slip stitch and end, and that's the collar. So if you want a turtleneck, you just continue with this, and it will automatically fold and it'll give you a turtleneck. But I just liked the round collar because the sweater is heavy as it is. So that is the end of the sweater. So I hope you enjoyed this pattern. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial for my very first tutorial. And if you do make it, please let me know. I have a Facebook group, Instagram page. Post some pictures and tag me on Instagram at Nonna's Stitching Lounge. Nonna's Stitching Lounge. Or even send me an email if you'd like, just to show me what you've used. So thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Hey everyone, so Nonno is going to model his brand new rib sweater that I made for him. Are you ready, Nonno? Alright. So there we are. You want to turn around. So you see here that I forgot to sew in something. So I'm going to just, this is all the increase here. And then turn around a bit. So, and then the increases. So he doesn't have it's a nice length, and let me see the sleeves, the ribs on the sleeves. There you go. There we go. Thank you, Nonna, for being a model.